Okay, so this is for my friend Mckayla for her big show, and she needed help with her hair, but it's sort of like a Veronica Lake type hairstyle, and mine is a little more my interpretation because I have really thick hair and it's big. It's got a lot of volume to it, and I guess I kind of like it like that in a way, but so I guess yeah. Okay, so first of all, I use hot rollers, so they come in like, let me show you, case like this. It's big, but they make it a lot easier because you just plug it in. It takes them like a minute and a half to heat up, and then you just leave them on once you put them on. But if you don't have hot rollers, use a curling iron with like a bigger barrel, like thicker, like about this thickness if you have it. But I have a lot of hair, so I use all of my hot rollers. And just first you want to make sure that you have all the tangles out of your hair, because if you have tangles and you put the hot rollers in, it'll get twisted and then the hair won't curl the right direction. And then I use a lot of products, but first you want to make sure that like you have a good like thermal protectant. So I use this bedhead stuff because it adds volume, and I don't like it when my hair is super flat. You don't want to, if you can avoid it, you don't want to shower, like wash your hair right before you do this and like blow dry it right before, because your hair, when it's like just washed, is super clean and like super, it's like almost too soft, and it won't hold the curls as well that way. So brush that through. Makes your hair smell nice too. And then just section off your hair. I'm going to section my bangs out of the way for now because I will deal with those later. Your bangs are like the hardest part. Okay, so I start with this side of my hair. Part your hair wherever you want. I would go like deeper, like about here. You don't want a middle part for this, but just don't take the sections too big because they won't curl the right way. It's kind of a process. I just take my round brush. Make sure you've got heat protectant anytime you use a heating tool because your hair won't be fried like mine. And then for the front curls and like the top, like your shorter layers, I use the smaller rollers, but you can do it however you want. If you have layers, if you don't, it really depends. I do. And then just wrap it and roll it up and clip it. And then just leave it and do the next section below it. Same thing. It's harder if you have layers to get your hair to wrap around it, but don't twist the hair because then it won't make like the sort of S shape that you need it to make. And then just keep doing the same thing. The longer the hair is, use bigger rollers. But other than that, it's pretty basic. And if you're using a curling iron, just take the sections of your hair the same way that I am with the rollers and just do the curls that direction. So you want to curl up onto the curling iron and then let it fall. Don't try and like mess with it right away though. I'll show you later on why you don't want to like touch it. Just like once you take it off the curling iron, just like spray it with some hairspray and let it sit. Where did my clip go? Don't you lose your clips like I am either. And just do that all over your hair, and then I'll show you the bangs. Okay, so at this point you look crazy. You have rollers all over your head. So you have to do your bangs. This is the hardest part, especially like if your bangs are shorter. Like I've been growing mine out and they're still kind of short, but they're still like mostly down my face. So you just want to really make sure that you do this like by section. Like keep it in small sections, because if you try and take too big of a section at once, your bangs aren't really going to curl because they'll be too thick and they'll just kind of sit there in this awkward little wave on your face and it's going to look funny. So take a smaller barrel, either curling iron, or if you have like a flat iron with a beveled edge, or your best bet is the hot rollers, at least for me. And take very, very small sections and clip them on your head. Basically just like you've been doing, but just make sure you keep the sections small, like I said. Because you want them to like blend together with the rest of your hair. Oh no. And sometimes, you know, that happens if you're just really bad at life. Take two. Be careful, like the sides of the rollers are like the hottest part, so try not to burn your fingers. And now you look slightly insane. You're gonna leave this on, depending on how well your hair holds curls. My hair is like nothing to hold curls, so I just leave them on for like 15-20 minutes, but at least leave them on until they aren't warm anymore. Like if you touch them, they're cool. And sometimes like I would say like 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes. But just be careful, don't leave them on too long. And then we'll come back and finish it. Okay, so now that my rollers have cooled off, I'm gonna just take them out. I'm gonna leave my bangs on because those come last. They're kind of like a whole separate deal. But be careful taking them out because you want to unroll the curl. You don't want to pull it out because it'll pull the curl and change the shape of it. So just unroll. You might end up having this kind of crease. It's okay because we're going to brush it out. Okay, so now we're going to take care of the bangs. And just like you did before, unroll them. Okay, so you see how right now they're kind of a mess. So what I like to do before I do anything, I kind of look like a poodle, that's cute. I take this hairspray, it's curl enhancer, really any that you have that's like specifically for curls, and just, you know, a good distance away. You don't want to use too much of this one. It's Pantene Curl Enhancer. Don't use too much of it, or don't spray it too close to the head because it will make your hair kind of stiff, which is definitely not what you want. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of run my fingers through it and kind of take each individual curl and separate it a little bit like that, which will make it more of like a wave than a curl. You don't want to completely pull it apart, just take it like this and just kind of separate it, widen it, I guess. And same on this side. Okay, now I'm going to take a big round brush and just very lightly almost like hold it up here and just very, very gently brush out, because you don't want to brush out the curl itself. You just kind of want to loosen it a little bit, make it a little more flowy. And you can shape it kind of however you want, depending on where you place your hand. You can kind of brush around the palm of your hand, or you can just let it be more loose, depending on what you want. And you can get up there, like up here, like where I have this little crease, and just kind of brush it out a little bit. And kind of like guide the direction of the curl to where you want it to go. And if you've got some little ones kind of like sticking out in the wrong direction, just kind of brush them the direction you want them to be facing. Okay, now for your bangs, I can't find my little one. I have a little round brush, but you can use, I mean, a big one works too. I like to give these a good spray with my hairspray. And just take my round brush and brush up. Not too hard, because you don't want to brush out the curl. And just take it over this way. Now, I like to take like a section at a time with my comb and kind of just comb through it. I'll tease mine a little bit because I like my hair to have a little more volume to it, and just it helps it to face the right direction, to all go in the same general way. Because with waving your hair, it's not like curls where you want them to be like distinct and separate. You kind of want it to all flow together. Now, depending on how long your bangs are and how you want to do it, you can pull this across. Ugh, too much of a poof here. Hold on. Okay. You can either take this and pull it across like this and do sort of the peekaboo thing, or you can take it like this, or if you want to do it completely different, which might almost look better with my bangs the way they are now, is to take it like this. It all just depends on the length of your hair, the texture of your hair, and the way you like it and the way you think it'll look best. You don't have to do any teasing to it if you don't want to. I just like my hair a little bigger. I'm a dramatic girl. And just really brush it out, loosen it up. And then, especially for this look, because this look, obviously my hair isn't as long as I would like it to be for this kind of hairstyle yet, but for this look, I like to take my bangs, because it kind of creates the wave a little more, if that's what you're looking for, and just tease all the way up. And take like little sections at a time. Now if my bangs were longer, this would be a lot easier to do, because they wouldn't be so separated and you wouldn't have to like fool around with them as much. But see how you've got this kind of wave going on here? And take this and flip it over like that, and kind of like mold it the way you want it to, obviously. My bangs are just being difficult today. But you'll have this sort of curl with your bangs, especially if you like, and you can take like different kinds of sections at a time, different sizes. It all depends on. I tease my hair a lot, so you have to take good care of it if you tease your hair as much as I do. But I like to take it and kind of like bring it back like that, and then have it come over like this if you want the whole peekaboo thing like Veronica Lake kind of had. I just like mine to have a little more of like the peak to it, I guess. Give it more like the wave. So, I mean, this is more my interpretation of it, like my take on it, the way I like my hair. But if you don't want to tease it, I mean, teasing will help you achieve this whole shape here. If you don't want to tease it though, especially if your bangs are longer, it'll be easier and you won't have to. This stuff is a miracle worker. It is Garnier Sleek and Shine Anti-Frizz Serum, and it's fabulous. And it's also super cheap. You can get it anywhere. And just squirt a little bit of it onto your hands and rub them together. And just kind of run your fingers through your hair, because that will keep it, and it smells wonderful. Absolutely amazing. Another thing you can use on top of this or as opposed to this is also by Garnier. And it's called, I actually probably have it with me somewhere. Yes. Moroccan Sleek Oil Treatment. And you can use it in the shower, you can use it when your hair is damp, you can use it when it's dry, and just kind of run it over the ends of your hair. And it makes it very like smooth and shiny. And I mean, obviously, if you have split ends, you have split ends. There's not much you can do about it except cut them off. But it definitely takes away like the frizz and all that junk that nobody wants. I mean, unless you're into that sort of thing. And that's really all it is. I mean, it takes you maybe an hour total if it takes you a long time. And I mean, it could take you as little as a half hour if your hair holds curls really well. So, yeah, however you want to wear it, there you have it.